Some of you have asked me to do more in-depth videos about Scaled and Icy and the whole 21 Pilots lore. Today I'm going to analyze the final song on Psy titled Redecorate. You might want to sit down if you aren't already. This is going to be a very heavy and cryptic topic. With all that being said, let's dive right into it. The song opens with a muffled and distorted voice in the background which says the phrase, "There was a wonderful structure to the city. It put my cares to rest." Already there's a huge clue before the actual singing even starts. If you remember, Clancy was writing letters on the demo website several years ago during the release of Trench. This is a direct quote from one of his many letters. I'll put the letter that the line is from on the screen for several seconds. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to read it. Okay, moving on. Along with this, the muffled voice is one that we've actually heard before. If you listen closely, it sounds like the bandito in the music video Levitate. It's very possible that this character is Clancy himself. Taking inventory of his life, seeing snapshots chronologically in line, something told him he should look around and tidy up. He collected many things but never quite enough. This line also refers back to the Dema.org website when, up to the release of Trench, various Easter egg photos were posted. Each of these pictures signified a previous album release. For example, this picture of birds perched on top of the walls of Dema signifies the release of 21 Pilots' very first album, self-titled. It also has the date 00912 Moon 29, or the 29th of December 2009, which is when the album was released. From these lyrics, we can conclude that Clancy was the one collecting the photos and storing them on the Dema.org database. One more thing worth mentioning is the handwriting in this lyric video for Redecorate matches Clancy's handwriting in his letters, clearly stating that this song is a letter from Clancy. To prove this even further, in the lyric video the word "my" has been crossed out, and in its place the word "his" was written. Try looking at it from a new perspective, flat on his back, but he still heard the directive. Orders from that corner where the shadow always lived, never asked permission, he just hoped that they'd forgive. This last part of the first verse ties back to Clancy's struggle with Dema. He mentions many times through his letters that he's conflicted on whether or not he belongs in Dema or if he wants to be free on the outside. He even tries to make Dema a positive thing in his mind, but it doesn't work. He even manages to escape Dema for a short time before the Bishop Keons brings him back. The corner where the shadow always lived is the bishops that keep him imprisoned. Also, I'm going to do the chorus at the end of the video since it has a central theme that helps tie the rest of these points together, so for now let's do the second verse. Blankets over mirrors, she tends to like it. She's not afraid of her reflection, but of what she might see behind it. First of all, this line definitely represents insecurity. She doesn't like who she is. When someone doesn't like who they are, they try to hide. In this case, the woman in the verse is covering her mirrors so that she isn't reminded of who she is. Also, if you have seen the Netflix show The Haunting of Bly Manor, you'll know that the main character, Danny, watched her fiancé get killed in a vehicle accident, and his silhouette sometimes appears in the reflections of mirrors that she looks into.
Eddie!
This leads to her covering up all the mirrors around her because it terrifies her too much. It is possible that this line is a clever nod at that TV show. She had plans to change her name, just not the traditional way. This line most likely represents someone who is planning to either come out as gay or go through gender reassignment surgery. In modern American culture, the traditional way for a woman's name to be changed is through marriage, as the woman takes on the man's last name, thus changing her name. Coming out as gay definitely changes your identity in the eyes of friends, family, and even society. This could be a positive or negative thing. This also ties back to the Bly Manor theory, as Danny comes out as gay to her fiancé just before he's killed in the accident. Haunted by a couple big mistakes, she covers up the dents with the way she decorates. Then one night she got cold with no blankets on her bed, so she ripped them off the mirror, stepped back, and she said, This part of the song is essentially the unraveling of someone when they are forced to face who they are. This also represents a mental breakdown of sorts. Alright, and for my favorite part, the chorus. I don't want to go like this, at least let me clean my room. I don't want to leave like this, because the last thing I want to do is make my people make decisions wondering what to do. Should they keep it on display or redecorate? Tyler actually talks a little bit about this song in an interview done a few weeks ago. He says, I had a friend of mine whose son passed away, and they would keep his room the same way that they had left it. I remember thinking how crazy powerful a story that is, and how it makes me wonder, like, what will people do with my stuff? It can actually bring you back down to earth and make sure that you won't make any horrible decisions. This is an incredible testament to depression and suicidal thoughts, as it offers another train of thought for people who deal with those kinds of things. Finally, I'm going to talk about the bridge. With the bells and the whistles scaled back like an isolated track, and he feels trapped when he's not inebriated. Fair to say he's fairly sedated most days of the week, and he might have made it if he lived on a different street. Tyler talked in an interview after the live stream about how the name of Scaled and Icy is another term for scaled back and isolated, which is what quarantine felt like for many people. Although this is true, I think the bridge is actually about Clancy. The word inebriated means to be intoxicated or high, so when he's not medicated and able to escape the world around him, he's forced to face his depression. Clancy is ruled by the Bishop Keons, who represents denial. Being sedated and medicated to avoid the feelings of Dima definitely sounds like denial to me. Also, the line, he might have made it if he lived on a different street, refers to the song Mulberry Street. Mulberry Street is an actual location in Ohio, and it represents Dima. If you look closely, it's even hidden in the cover of Scaled and Icy. Not far from this street, there's another road named Clancy Way. In another sense, Clancy tried to live life his own way outside of Dima, a life of true happiness and fulfillment, but as we know, he was unable to escape Dima completely. It seems like Tyler is singing this letter out as a testament that's hidden in the album. I think it's safe to say that this song is one of the most important of 21 Pilots' discography, and it doesn't have a happy ending, but it has a hopeful undertone that spreads a powerful message to those who are struggling and offers more insight into the storyline of Dima. If you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to comment your ideas down below and I'll be sure to check them out. See you in the next video.